Hey friends, Miss Lynn from the Action Arts and Science program at the Washington Pavilion, and we are finishing up our final of the 5 senses. And so we're doing touch, and we're going to do a science project based on texture and materials and how it causes things to go faster or slower. So before we get too much into the experiment, I want you to take your hands and I want you to put them together and I want you to rub them. And I want you to keep rubbing and go as fast as you can. What did you notice? Did they get warmer? Of course they did. When you rub your hands together, you are creating friction. And friction is something that will slow things down. It also warms your hands up when they're cold, but it will slow objects down when they are put underneath them. So, our science project for today is going to see which materials cause a marble to go the farthest, okay? Here's the setup. You're gonna have a track, okay? Now, I'm not gonna send you blocks. You might have some other things. You might have books or you might have other blocks that you could put. I'm gonna let you guys figure out what you're going to use from your site to keep your ramp up like that. We need it to be angled so that our marble has a way to go down, okay? Then there's going to be a selection of materials for you to pick from. Some of them are smooth, like the tin foil and the cardboard. Some of them have a little more texture to them, okay? And so we've talked about texture before, and that's the things that we touch. Some of them have more texture, and so they might affect how the marble is going to roll differently. Now, because the marble's going to roll a long way, hopefully, I'm not going to do this on the table. I'm actually going to pop down to the floor and let's see how it works. All right, so because I'm doing this on the floor and I don't want to lose my marbles, I've changed the setup a little bit. You might have to adapt your setup to whatever your teacher is telling you because we don't need marbles getting lost, okay? So I've actually taken one of my blocks away so it's not quite so high. The first thing I'm going to do is just test it on its own with no material on it. When you let the marble go, it's important that you don't push it. We don't want to add our own energy to it. We just want to see what happens. And there's actually a little hole right there, which is a good place to avoid because your marble will get stuck there. So I'm going to go right next to it. And I've put a block at the end just so we don't go all the way across the stage. You want to let yours go as far as it will go, okay? And then you're going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to write the word test, okay? So that's going to show me that that was the first one I did. It was just the test to make sure that it would work and to see how far it would go on its own with no material. So I'm going to go there. Okay. Now, when you're doing this at your site, it will probably all go a lot farther, but again, I don't want it to roll off the stage. Okay. So now I'm going to select maybe this. This is actually a party streamer. And I'm just going to kind of tuck that in. Okay. There we go. And again, I'm not going to push the marble, I'm just going to let it go. Make sure I'm straight here. Oh, it's going to go a little bit farther, I think. You're going to be doing this with a couple people in your group, so one person can be at the end to kind of see where it stops. Okay. I'm just going to put ST for streamer. I'm going to do one more. I don't want to give all the answers away. I'm going to let you do some of them on your own. I'm going to try. I'm curious about, this is really thick foam that we've used for some other things, and I'm curious as to see what will happen because it's kind of smooth, but it's also, I feel like it's got some good texture to it, and I feel like it's going to slow things down. I'm going to put F for foam. You could do this for all the rest of them and then see which one went the farthest. If you really wanted to, you could actually predict ahead of time, talk amongst yourselves and kind of do, what do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go farther? Is it going to go not so far? You might have some other materials at your site that your teacher will let you use. Make sure you ask first, okay? Don't just go take paper or something from a closet and use it. You've got to have permission, but you guys might have coffee filters, you might have wax paper, maybe even sandpaper or construction paper. Try out some different materials and see what you think. You could also add more height to your ramp. So if we used 2 blocks or 3 blocks, it would have gone clear across the stage and I didn't want to have to chase it. But you might be able to see different results. Obviously, if your ramp is higher, you can compare how far one material went with the low ramp and the same material went with the high ramp. So there's a lot of different ways that you can experiment with this, and send me some pictures or have your teacher send me some emails with your results.